5, a Missouri lawmaker requests help from Kansas to pay out for out-of-state abortions. Plus, shoppers at Joplin's North Park Mall take advantage of a sales tax holiday for some back-to-school shopping. And Senate Democrats come to an agreement on a major climate and health care bill. We'll break the bill down.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A top Democratic Missouri state lawmaker wrote to the Democratic governors of Kansas and Illinois asking for help paying for abortions out-of-state Medicare patients. This is your KOAM News at 5. Missouri House Democratic Minority Leader Crystal Quaid called on Kansas and Illinois to apply for Medicaid waivers to cover abortions for out-of-state patients. The waivers only apply in cases of rape, incest, and medical emergencies. Spokespeople for both governors have not responded to the request. As the new school year approaches and parents are shopping for school supplies, North Park Mall is celebrating the back-to-school season in style with the annual shop sales tax holiday. We spoke to the people in the mall to find out how the state tax exempt affected them.
With some of just the basic supplies, if you're talking regular number 2 pencils or folders or whatever, some of that has stayed down quite a bit.
Saves our family like $20 in total.
It helped me out a lot, single dad of 2 kids, and saves a little bit of money.
Being able to get all the necessities that they're going to need for the year is a great opportunity.
The shop sales tax holiday ends on Sunday. A Carthage museum is being remodeled to help local high school students graduate on time. The Powers Museum was gifted to the Board of Education to expand their Powers Learning program. The program is designed to help high school seniors and juniors catch up on credits in order to graduate on time.
Be here for half the day, either in the morning or the afternoon. They can choose. When they're not in this building, they will either be taking classes at our tech center, or they can be released on a work program, so they can earn credit if they have steady employment as well.
The remodeling is in the final stages. A local 8-year-old raised money for a good cause by selling baked goods. Annabella Keith lives in Southwest City, Missouri. She raised $600 from a bake sale, and today she donated all of that to the Ronald McDonald House charities of the 4 states.
I enjoy selling the cookies better because I like listening to other people's stories.
Annabella's bake sale included sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies. And now Doug joins us with first weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another hot day for us today. Temperatures pressing 100 degrees, but our humidity is a little high, so that's why we have heat advisories in effect for parts of Missouri, Oklahoma, and also Kansas as we go through the next few hours, and then we'll see these re-up again as we go into Saturday. Most of us dry, but there have been a few random isolated little thunderstorms. Southwestern Missouri, you can see one little guy just to the east of Joplin. These are going to be very hit and miss over the next few hours. Look at our temps, upper 90s to near 100 degrees right now. Through the evening hours, we slip back through the 90s, 80s, mid 70s later on tonight. Now, we do have some rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Senate Democrats have reached a new deal to move forward with a bill they say would reduce energy and health costs. The bill could get an initial vote as early as this weekend. Reporter Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill with a closer look at what Democrats are calling the largest ever single climate investment in U.S. history.
In a major step forward for Senate Democrats' climate and health care bill, Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema announced late Thursday that she's now on board.
I'm pleased we have reached an agreement on the Inflation Reduction Act that I believe will receive the support of the entire Senate Democratic Conference.
Sinema reached an agreement with the Senate Majority Leader to remove a tax provision that mainly impacted private equity and hedge fund managers.
Senator Sinema said she would not vote for the bill, not even move to proceed unless we took it out, so we had no choice.
This paves the way for an initial vote on the bill as soon as this weekend.
Democrats need to use a budget tool known as reconciliation to pass the bill with just a simple majority, since no Republican senators support the measure.
To Manchin and Sinema, I admire you at times and I oppose you now. And I think what you're doing is that you're empowering the most radical people in this country to tax and spend at a time we can ill afford it.
Democrats argue the tax increases in their bill will reduce the deficit. It would also invest nearly $370 billion in energy and climate programs, with a goal of lowering energy costs and reducing emissions by 40% by 2030.
The Inflation Reduction Act will mean we're making the largest investment ever in clean energy and American energy security, largest in our history.
The legislation includes tax incentives to buy clean energy and investment to build it, as well as grants aimed at cleaner ports, forests, and coastal habitats. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The bill also allows Medicare to begin negotiating prescription drug prices, and it extends the tax credits for people buying insurance through the Affordable Care Act. Still ahead, the latest on the monthly jobs report.
Red-hot hiring puts recession fears on the back burner. I'm Elise Preston with a look at the better-than-expected jobs report.
And next in Health Watch, polio concerns growing in parts of the country. Topping today's Health Watch, a new Dutch study finds 1 in 8 people who had COVID-19 now suffer from so-called long COVID symptoms. Those symptoms include breathing problems, fatigue, and loss of taste and/or smell. Doctors say the finding highlights the need for more research into what causes long-term COVID symptoms. Federal health officials have arrived in New York over concerns that polio may be spreading. The virus has been found in multiple wastewater samples. Trinity Chavez reports from Pomona, New York.
New York State health officials have issued an urgent call for unvaccinated children and adults to get inoculated against polio as soon as possible. They found the virus in 7 different wastewater samples in 2 counties north of New York City.
Oh gosh, I didn't think that would be spreading up here.
So far, only 1 person has tested positive for polio, an unvaccinated young adult in Rockland County who developed paralysis. It was the first U.S. case in nearly a decade. State officials believe it may just be the tip of the iceberg, that there may be hundreds of people who have been infected but have no symptoms yet. Dr. Frank Esper with the Cleveland Clinic says the unvaccinated are most at risk.
Polio is extremely infectious. It's very good about transmitting. And so by looking for it in the wastewater system, into the sewers, we can actually see whether or not there's a detection, not just in one particular household, but within a community.
Rockland County has been holding pop-up vaccine clinics in addition to its regular vaccine hours at health department locations ever since that case was diagnosed last month. This county and nearby Orange County have low vaccination rates. Rockland County was the heart of the 2-year measles outbreak that began in 2018. The polio vaccination rate for 2-year-olds is 60.5% compared to the New York State average of 79.1%.
The take-home message is still very reassuring. Vaccines work, and they work very, very well. But if we have less and less coverage of the vaccines within our community or within our nation, we're going to see more and more of these types of infections.
New York health officials and the CDC confirmed the virus originated from the oral polio vaccine, a live vaccine used in other countries. The vaccine is no longer given in the U.S. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, Pomona, New York.
Most people infected with polio can be asymptomatic, but can still shed the virus and pass it along to the unvaccinated for days or even weeks. A small percentage of people who get polio suffer from paralysis or death. The rising cost of healthcare is forcing Americans to make trade-offs. A survey by West Health and Gallup finds 98 million adults either delayed or skipped treatment or cut back on driving, utilities, and food in order to pay medical bills in the last 6 months. 1 in 4 say they simply avoided medical care or prescription drugs because of the high prices. And climate change could impact the health of children. With record levels of obesity and inactivity among kids, researchers say warmer temperatures put them at greater risk for dehydration, heat cramps, or heat stroke. They say exercise must be prioritized for children as the world gets hotter or even hotter every year. That's a look at today's top health stories. And a little later, what a new report shows about the current state of mortgage rates.
Plus, the heat sticks around, but we do have some rain chances. We're going to check it out coming up. Well, of course, turned out to be another hot one for us today. High temps right around 100 degrees, partly sunny skies. Once again, we'll have to see what the official temp comes in at. We are hovering right at 100. So if we did hit it officially, today would be day number 19 of the summer, which is kind of crazy. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Heat advisories stick around through the evening hours and then reissue once again for us tomorrow. You can see Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma. We've had a few isolated little guys pop up this afternoon, and we'll have a few isolated little guys as we go through the evening hours, mainly on the Missouri side. All right, it's hot. 100 Neosho, Joplin, 101 Parsons, Independence, Iola at 100 degrees. And the humidity is up there a little bit, so heat indices kind of hovering right around that 105 mark. When we look outside, 7th and range line, so we did officially hit 100. South winds at about 5. Humidity is at 35%, so you can see that heat index of 106 degrees. Through the evening, we drop back through the 90s, 80s, mid-70s for us a little bit later on tonight. Pretty quiet outside for us today, except the past couple hours, those random isolated little guys popping up. You can see one. So if we look at I-49, so right where I-49 kind of meets up with I-44, a little tiny thunderstorm just to the west of Sarcoxy, another little guy just to the south of Mount Vernon. These will kind of flare up and down over the next couple hours. Overall, not a whole bunch going on, but we do have a very weak little upper level wave that is going to rotate through tonight. So this should give us some isolated thunderstorms, especially late tonight and into the morning hours for us tomorrow. So let's go through time. Here's about midnight. And then as we get into the morning hours, look at these isolated little guys popping up, especially southwestern Missouri. But as we go through the morning, here's 6:30 in the morning, not widespread by any means, but just kind of hit and miss. But if you get stuck underneath one of those, you could pick up a quick quarter, maybe a half an inch of rain. Isolated thunderstorms continue through the morning hours, trying to work a little bit farther toward the west, and then start to kind of fizzle apart as we get into the afternoon. Temperatures very similar to what we have seen today. 77 to start, 93 by noon. High temp right around 99 to 100 degrees. Tomorrow night's going to be quiet. We fall back into the upper 70s as we go into Sunday. Hot, kind of humid again. Temperatures upper 90s to near 100 once again. Heat indices over the weekend, they're going to be up there, 105, 107 for us tomorrow, about 103 to 105 by the time we head into Sunday. But on Monday, we actually get a cold front that kind of slides in, and this will give us some better chances for some scattered showers and thunderstorms by the time we head into early next week. 99 tomorrow, alert day because of the heat advisory. 99 Sunday, 100 on Monday, upper 90s Tuesday and Wednesday, some triple-digit heat late next week. So overall, not much of a pattern change, not a whole bunch of rain, and temperatures holding pretty steady.
Well, I know that the heat is continuing, but it's good to see that there is some chance of rain
that's
after
always
going
good.
through the month of July when it was no rain to be found anywhere. So
we could use a little more.
Happy to see that there's some precipitation potentially on the horizon.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Doug. Don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. Coming up, the latest job numbers from July. But first, we honor a local veteran. Donald Slagle served in the U.S. Army during World War II. The Pittsburgh native was stationed on the Pacific Islands, New Guinea, the Philippines, and Japan. We salute Command Sergeant Donald Slagle, a Force Aid hero. To learn about other heroes or submit a hero of your own, anytime, just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a bit of good news for people looking to buy a new home. Mortgage rates have dropped for the second week in a row. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed mortgage averaged 4.99% last week. It's the first time since April the rates have been less than 5%, but it's still a lot higher than this time last year when it was 2.77%. The red-hot labor market is still going strong. Government data out today shows in July, the U.S. added more than 500,000 jobs and unemployment is at a 50-year low. staving off recession fears for now. Reporter Elise Preston has a look at the latest jobs report.
The hiring heat wave is showing no signs of cooling. The Labor Department says the economy added 528,000 jobs in July, more than double what economists had anticipated. Unemployment also ticked down to 3.5%, hitting pre-pandemic levels.
It's a somewhat surprising result, with gains broad-based among totally different kinds of sectors: leisure and hospitality, business and professional services, government, all these different areas seeing a big uptick in hiring.
Despite those gains, leisure and hospitality is still down more than 1 million jobs from its February 2020 level. Virginia restaurant owner Tony Stafford says he just can't find enough workers.
It's tougher now than it was 2 years ago, a year ago, even 6 months ago.
These are the areas that really do need to see more help, but people are not going there.
The salon industry, which lost longtime stylists during the pandemic, is having trouble staying a cut above.
If we have jobs for every single one of our students, which we likely do, we still cannot fill the need or the demand in the industry.
Experts say this overall healthy jobs report also gives the Federal Reserve reason to continue its aggressive rate hikes this year.
We must see inflation come under control, and the Fed's tool of raising interest rates, it may be a blunt tool, but it's probably the best one we have.
Consumers are seeing some relief in the system. Mortgage rates dropped this week, and drivers have seen more than 50 days of lower gas prices. If you're fortunate enough to save some money, that's earning more interest in the bank, too. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Rising interest rates mean it will cost you more to carry debt. For instance, like a car loan. American Airlines is trimming its flight schedule. The carrier will cancel 2% of its scheduled flights for September and October. Officials say these cuts are a proactive move to help buffer the rest of the summer travel season and ease traffic disruption at airports. Other airlines have also taken similar measures due to ongoing staffing and COVID-19 related problems. United Airlines recently slashed its schedule by 12% at Newark Liberty International Airport. HBO Max and Discovery Plus subscribers can expect some major changes before next summer. As a part of the massive merger involving Warner Media and Discovery, the two popular streaming services will be combining forces. The new service will blend HBO's scripted entertainment with Discovery's reality-based unscripted programming. In Warner Brothers Discovery's second quarter results, the company reports more than 92 million subscribers on the combined platforms. And the final check of our forecasts up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, an interview with Taiwan's top diplomat. Then on KOAM News at 6, details on a crash in Southwest Missouri that left 1 man dead and 2 others injured. Plus, how a local organization is planning to use a $33,000 grant. And a Northwest Arkansas community sees a surge in road sign thefts. Stay with us for that, for the CBS Evening News, and then the KOAM News at 6. Parts of the Great Barrier Reef have recorded their highest amount of coral cover since monitoring began 36 years ago. An Australia Institute of Marine Science survey found average hard coral cover in the upper and central areas of the reef increased by about a third. The Institute survey examined 87 reefs from August 2021 and May 2022. The Institute's CEO said the increase in coral is a sign the reef could still recover from mass bleaching. Man, it's good news.
Yeah, that's always good news. You want to preserve those things.
For sure.
Weather-wise, yeah, it looks hot as we head into the weekend. Temperatures right around 100 degrees. Alert day tomorrow because heat indices 105, 106, 107. Some isolated thunderstorms as we head into the morning hours, and then some additional rain chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But overall trend here, hot.
Yeah, hopefully we can get a little bit of rain sprinkled in there at some point.
Would be nice.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is up next. And of course, we'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. I hope you all have a good one.